So this is great. You finally done it. You went out, you got a bike, and you're ready to start cycling. Now, I want to go over a few things so you don't come out and make mistakes and look like this person here at a four-way stop who can't navigate their way even though no one else at a stop sign. Let's get in it.
Straight, yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining me on this ride. So I want to go over a couple things. If you're just starting or looking to start, there's some mistakes that maybe I've made or I've seen other people make when they were beginning their cycling journey. So I kind of want to go over those and share those with you so to help you avoid making those same mistakes. So without delaying too much longer, we're going to go ahead and get into it. So the first thing I want to get into is padded shorts. Now, when I went for my first ride, I didn't have any on. I didn't know about them, and I quickly found out. I did about 12 miles, and when I came home, I could barely sit down. So I started looking things up, and I discovered padded shorts, and they're very key in your development because they aid in the comfort and your ability to keep going and not be so sore, not only during your ride but especially after your ride. I think a good comparison is kind of like playing basketball in dress shoes. If you go out there and for whatever reason decide to play basketball in dress shoes, it's going to be very uncomfortable. Your feet going to hurt, and you're not going to want to play as long or even perform as good. And afterwards, I'm pretty sure your feet are going to feel like they're on fire, and it's not going to make you want to go back out there again and keep on playing. But the same thing for the shorts. They not only help in the comfort, but also after your ride, it's going to enable you to want to go out there and ride some more. The next one I want to get into is saddle height. Now, having your seat too low can not only cause knee pains, but also limit the amount of power that you are producing, as you're not getting the full range of motion on your pedal stroke. Now, the good thing about this is if you buy your bike from a bike shop, they will properly adjust your seat height to you. However, if you happen to buy a bike secondhand, then you may have to adjust your own seat or take it to the shop afterwards. And if you're adjusting your own seat, just try to make sure that the optimal positioning is when your leg is at the down position on the pedal, there's about a slight 30-degree bend in your knee. You don't want it too much, you also don't want it too low, but 30-degree bend will maximize the amount of output you can put down and comfort on a ride. So this next thing I want to get into is called bunking, or in other terms is just not having enough fuel for your ride. Now, this is going to be kind of trial and error as you kind of learn your body. It's like a general rule of thumb of every 45 minutes you should be trying to consume something as you're using a lot of energy on your ride, and you want to keep going, and so you need to keep refueling yourself to maintain the level of performance that you're outputting. However, everybody's different, and some people may go a little longer, some people may go a little shorter, and unfortunately you don't really know what your level is going to be at until you kind of go out there and test it, and unfortunately probably bunk the first time and you realize, okay, I can't go past 45 minutes without trying to refuel, otherwise I'm just going to have a drastic dip in energy and performance. So number 4 is going to be not having spare inner tubes and tools to change a flat tire. Now, a lot of times when we first start, we're so focused on the ride, or even the mistake that I made where I would tell myself I'm only going 5 or 10 miles, so the likelihood of having a flat is not that great, which is 100% wrong. A flat can happen at any point in time. So you don't want to learn that lesson the hard way, as I kind of learned and had to call Uber to get back home because I didn't have a spare inner tube and things I needed to change a flat tire. So to go off of that, number 5 is going to be to know how to use your equipment. Now, it's great to bring spare inner tubes and tools out to change a flat tire with you, but if you don't know how to use it, it's not going to be too much good. So just learning basic bike maintenance is critical, as you don't want to always be stopping people and asking for help. You want to be able to change a tire, and once you kind of get the hang of it, it's not that difficult to do, and you'll be able to do it easily. Now, before we get into number 6, I just want to throw a bonus one out there. I'm not even sure if it's a mistake or not, but just something that I feel is worth mentioning. So that is just to have fun and enjoy the environment. As you see us coming around this corner and you see the city skyline, you see the harbor, you see the people out here walking, taking all this positive energy, taking the positive energy from the people, waving to you, from the sun, and just enjoying this liberating feeling that you get when you're out riding your bike. So as y'all enjoy that, let's get into number 6, which is not knowing your gears. You want to be able to use your gears properly. The last thing you want to do is be going up a hill and be changing gears in the wrong direction, especially on a road bike. Coming from a hybrid bike, they had indicators to let you know what gear you're in. But when I switched to a road bike, as most road bikes, they don't have any gear indicators. So you have to kind of go off a feel and also know which direction to go. So knowing your gears, taking that time to know your gears, will definitely benefit you, and it's a mistake that some people make and kind of, again, learn the hard way once they're already out there. So number 7 is going to be overdressing and underdressing. So when you first start off, especially in the cooler months, your body's not going to be warmed up, so you may have a tendency to put on more layers. However, as you get out there and you start sweating, you start moving, your body's going to warm up and you may feel hot and you may be overdressed. But on the flip side of that, you can easily underdress as well, and there's nothing worse than cold hands and cold feet. It's going to make you not want to ride and not want to be out there and end your ride short. So make sure that you dress appropriately for the weather. Now jumping into number 8, and that's being overly concerned over stats. Now I do talk about stats a lot, and they are a good metric to observe. However, you don't want to be consumed by them, especially if you're comparing yourself to other people. Now, we all have different starting points and different learning curves. Now, you could be looking at your information and look at another person and see how fast or how long that he or she is able to ride, and seeing that you're not at that level, and you may be discouraged. However, you may not know the amount of work that person has put in to obtain that level. There's a saying that goes, don't expect the results from work that you haven't done. Now, when you look at someone's success, it's kind of like an iceberg. You just see that top 10%, the results of what they're able to achieve. What you don't see is a 90%, and that's what went into that person achieving those results. That's the hard work, the dedication, the sacrifice, the persevering after failures, the commitment and long hours. So that's why you can get into a lot of trouble comparing yourself to other people, especially if you haven't put that same level of commitment into it. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself, and your own progress. Now, getting to number 9, that's going to be doing too much. Now, this sport is fun, it's great, and it's highly addictive. When you get into it, you just crave more and more, and with that, it can easily make you want to do more than your fitness level is up to. So make sure that you pace yourself, especially if you haven't had any other levels of fitness and this is the first type of exercise you're doing in a while. You want to pace yourself so you don't end up injuring yourself or pulling a muscle and then not being able to ride at all. Number 10 is going to be not wearing a helmet. Now, you may think it may not look as cool, or it's summertime and your head is hot and you want to maintain, a cool head and not sweat as much. Or you overestimate the ability of, drivers to see you. But it's kind of self-explanatory. You want to wear a helmet to protect yourself. So those were 10 mistakes that I either made myself or seen others make as I was beginning my cycling journey. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Did you make any of these mistakes? Or was it something else that I didn't list here? Also, if you like this video, subscribe so you can see more content like this. Anyways, thanks for coming along on this ride with me. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Turn?
Right at the circle. Man.